So in this video I'm going to be tactically analysing United's first goal against Lyon, looking at patterns of play that were very promising from United, specifically in the first half. So in the lead up to Ugarte's opening goal, you can see the clear possession structure with the midfield double pivot of Casemiro and Ugarte, the two interior forwards of Bruno and Garnacho in the half space, and Højlund holding a position between the two centre backs, creating a pentagon shape at the top of the 3-4-3 possession shape. However, what was different about this game compared to earlier games in Amarim's tenure was the coordinated patterns of play, particularly the vertical movement that we saw from deep from United's right hand side. Here we see as Dalot plays a pass back to Mazraoui that Bruno Fernandes has now floated from the half space area infield to a wider position on the outside of Lyon's left-sided central midfielder, who has now followed Bruno Fernandes' movement wide and deep. However, the key to this goal is Bruno Fernandes' double movement, as he initially looks to take a step forward, looking like he wants to receive the ball to feet, which works to entice a pressing player on his back to also look to take a step forward. But as he does this, Bruno Fernandes spins and drives into the space behind, and this double movement was crucial as it allowed Bruno Fernandes to accelerate before the Lyon player, giving him a couple yards head start. But also, if you look in the centre, you can see the clear difference in the role that Højlund plays compared with Xerxes as a centre forward. But before I carry on with the analysis, if you want to check out any cheap, good quality football jerseys, go over to dragonjersey.com. They sent me over one of their retro shirts, this Manchester United 2006-2007 long sleeved home shirt with Ronaldo 7 on the back, which may be my favourite jersey of all time, with Ronaldo's performance that season making it even more iconic. They've also got other retro and current season jerseys available, and depending on where you live you can get 7 to 12 day delivery time. If you use code Atlantis at checkout you will get a discount for a limited time, so I'll leave it linked in the description and in the comments section below. See, in this phase of play, if you have Xerxes as the centre forward instead of Højlund, he's going to be looking to drop towards the ball, into the space behind Tolisso, looking to receive the ball to feet and then link play, while simultaneously dragging a centre back out of the back line and opening up space centrally. However, as we know, Højlund doesn't have the same level of technical ability as Xerxes, and so he plays the role of an advanced forward instead, where rather than dropping off and looking to receive the ball to feet, he instead sits high, on the shoulder of the last defender, between the two centre backs, looking to not only pin them as deep as possible, but also keep them as narrow and close together as possible. And so whilst Xerxes' deeper movement would open up space in the centre of the defensive line, Højlund's keeps the two centre backs central, and so instead opens up the space in front of and wide of the two centre backs. And Bruno Fernandes takes advantage of this space by running off the back of the Lyon midfielder into the space created by Tagliafico having to push high onto Dalot, and Højlund keeping the left-sided centre-back pinned centrally. Now from here, ideally Mazraoui's pass would have a bit more pace on it, as it does hold up, forcing Fernandes to then check his run. But in the centre you can now see the sort of coordinated movements that we weren't seeing from United earlier on in the season. Højlund's job here is to attack the space between the goalkeeper and back line, looking not just for a low cross across a 6-yard box, but also to drag the centre-backs deeper and open up the space around the penalty spot and the edge of the box. Whilst Garnacho, despite starting in the left-sided half space on the opposite side of the pitch, making the perfect run back across Højlund to the other side of the pitch, with Dorgu coming in from deep at the back post, and Ugarte being the runner from deep in midfield, already having a couple yards advantage on Almada behind. And so now as Bruno Fernandes gets his head up, rather than having to just deliver across into Højlund, which would be a very hard chance to even connect with, let alone score from, because Garnacho has left his position on the left side and made a diagonal run back across the pitch, now Bruno Fernandes can find him with a cutback. But also, as you see here, Veretout is a player marking Garnacho on the edge of the box, and so Garnacho's movement out to the right drags him away from the edge of the box, opening up the space for Ugarte to make a late run into. And from here, Garnacho's first touch is exceptional. Running at speed under pressure, his first touch is perfectly weighted, taking both Veretout and the left-sided centre-back out of the game. And now in the centre, you can see once again, Højlund is looking to make a run across and in front of the centre-back, working to drag him deeper, opening up the space behind for Ugarte to run into, with Almada making up the ground, but just not tracking Ugarte's movement into the box. And Garnacho's cutback is perfectly weighted into the exact right area, which sets Ugarte up for a simple left-footed finish, which gives United the lead. And so as I've said throughout the last few months, United's possession system massively improves when they have runners from deep. And specifically with Højlund, you need these movements from the half space, down the channel, in behind the back line, whereas with Xerxes I think that movement has to be a lot more central. I do have a video out analysing the issues that Xerxes has when he plays in this system, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave it linked on the end screen, but if you want to check out any cheap, good quality football jerseys, go over to Dragon Jersey. You can use code Atlantis at checkout for a discount. I'll leave it linked in the description and comment section below. And if you want to sign up for my Patreon to get access to my in-game Instagram group chat or read any of my articles, I'll leave that linked on the end screen now as well.